Hizi earphones ziko na nini mzee?
Sawa.
Hey. Haya, welcome to the show. Nimechanganyikia cha kucheka. Ajua nimeshtuliwa tu, hebu tuanze. Yuko nini? Okay, I go by the name of Jerry. And welcome to the live stream today. As you saw on the post, I do not have the hat. I know the face looks different, but this is me. This is my real face. If you have not seen me, you can catch me on FNNR 254 where I review Kenyan music.
Yeah.
But today it's not about me, it's about my good friend here.
It's
He go by the name of
us.
Tulikuwa na us tangulini.
This is going downhill. Oh, Mwalumah. I go there.
Introduce yourself, bwana.
What do you mean you go by the name? Just a name.
Introduce yourself, bwana. Angalia kamera, unaangalia kamera. Kamera iko pale. Si mimi. Unikatia hapa. Okay, serious.
Mungu akusamehe by the way. Okay, so Mwalumah Joseph, that is my name.
Si lazima ulini, kamera inakuona.
I'm trying to do this for.
Nimeacha kuchomea, nimesikia.
Nini wewe si umesema nijiintroduce? Do you want to introduce me?
Yes, his name is Joseph Mwalumah.
Mwanda what?
Yo. Unaona kupatia hiyo chance.
Okay, yes. Joseph Mwandaviro. Yes, Mwalumah. That is me, yeah.
Okay, he's an amazing photographer. I knew him courtesy of Black Diversity 254 when we started working on magazines, and it's a good story. I know people want to kill me right now because they've been asking where is it. Do not worry, we're working on it. But it will come. So today we're going to talk about blended sensations. Sindio, niyo? Blended sensations.
Blended sensations.
Jina sijasahau, nipigie makofi hapo kidogo. Nimejaribu. Sijasahau majina. So anyway, we're talking about blended sensations. That's basically it was supposed to be an art exhibition that was happening this month.
Yes.
But everyone knows what's happening. You know, COVID-19, blah 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 blah. So here we are. We're going to give you a snippet of the things that are supposed to be showcased, and maybe you can tell us about the whole exhibition. Ama tuanzie from the beginning.
Where is the beginning?
The beginning is photography, because this was a photography exhibition.
Yes.
How did you pick up the camera? What inspired you to begin the whole thing?
Wow. Where did I pick up the picking up the camera? Tulianza started in college because I did journalism. Yes, I did broadcast journalism. So this was supposed to be me, the literal in another life. Like
okay.
This was.
Tupatie snippet ya news anchor kidogo hapo.
Hakuna script. I would have gone. Hujambo mpenzi mtazamaji, popote pale ulipo. I would have flown on that one. But so during in college we did. Part of the units was photography and video, some bit of video production. So after college, after tulimaliza, I went for there's a funny story behind me not kind of joining radio. I went for internship in Coach FM. And then this time when guys were supposed to register for voting. So nikapewa a show. I was supposed to host a morning show for a week. Friend, that thing was not joke. I remember the first day on that Monday. I remember I wrote everything that I was to say for the whole 4 hours because I could not just
Wait, it was 4 hours?
Yeah, it was 4 hours from what? 6 to around 11? 6 to 10, 11, yes. And then I was like, look, the experience of from frying pan to the fire. Like, nilirushwa tu hapo kabla Mwalumah. From Monday, you're hosting this show in the morning. I was like, okay, I have, because yes, I used to co-host with some guy alikuwa anaitwa Tony Erickson.
Kama simu.
Simu ni Sony. He's Tony. Mtu mzima. I still call him
wazazi wa Afrika hawa.
I still call him mtu mzima. So we used to host that show in the morning as well. So he would do most of the talking. I would just do some bits here and there. So after that week of hosting, I was like, by the way, I do not think I was made for this. I'm not that talkative to keep people listening to me.
Yes, you are.
Then exactly.
Tunafanya nini hapa? Leo kumeenda juu kafungua roho. What touched you?
Tutafika hapo sasa. So after that and then radio jobs, okay, like you all know how the median is right now. Like even getting a job doing any type of
it's not as lucrative as it's
and not as easy to get through. So I was like, what else can I do? So because I'd actually done some video, I went to my folks and like, can you guys please buy me a camera? And my parents were like, sure. They actually like bought me my first camera.
So ilikuwa kamera gani mkubwa?
Canon 600D.
Wazazi walisema
tunachafua. That is my baby.
Bado uko nayo?
Yeah, bado niko nayo.
Ama hii ndio ni ile unatupiga nayo?
She still exists. So now funny thing is after nimenunuliwa camera, I did not immediately start doing photography. I actually started shooting music videos. So yeah. Yes.
Najifanya nashtuka lakini I've seen your work. You did the thing for this group.
Look at this guy.
What's the name of this group?
Hashtag.
I know them.
Oh, Music in Me. But that was recent.
Yeah,
that was recent.
Yeah. So basically, you have, at least you have something.
So like before the news. I think while you upload, I'm not sure.
What was the name of the song? I can't really remember.
It was the intro to the album. So it had beats. It was amazing.
But I had they broke up. So
they did?
Yeah, I had something like that. But anyway,
interesting. Yeah.
So basically you started by shooting music videos. How was the experience?
It was
did you,
interesting. I had fun. Because so now we actually started a company. Oh God. Yeah, we started a company we were 5 of us, all people I met nikiwa college. So we started this company and then we started shooting a couple of music videos. Then down the line, I think for me it got boring, so to say, because it was the exact same thing. All music videos had to have ladies in them doing so like
the video vixens, wanaitwa video vixens.
But I did not know that term then. Ilikuwa.
Unaniaibisha, ungejifanya unajua tu.
Kasi sijui. Jangani nidanganye.
So basically it's the concept that you had to have video vixens in the videos.
Yeah, so it was all the same thing that they had to have video vixens, and then like the setting was more or less the same. So after a while we were like, yo, my people, it's not your thing. Yeah, it's not. So that's when I started branching into photography.
Okay, so when you began photography, how was it like for the first few? Like, because mi usikia watu walianza na simu, wengine wanasema walianza na nini inaitwa aje. You know how motivational speakers begin. When I started my first trip plantation with a leaf. So but in your case at least you had a camera.
Yes.
So how did you pick up the skills? Because I've tried photography myself, but not professionally.
I've seen your...
I leave my work.
Can we qualify it to be called work? Okay, I've seen your image. Okay, so I've seen your work. Yes.
Mbona unanichomea? Leo si siku yangu, leo ni siku yako. Tumesema leo nakuwa professional. Mimi ndio host. Let me do my job.
Sawa host. Okay, yeah.
Wewe ulianza na how did you learn the ropes? Because you can't tell me uliingia tu ukaanza cha. Like how did you go from just being an amateur photographer to being a professional photographer? How did you go through the process? How did you go learning? How was that like?
Learning a lot. They say actually like in photography you have to your first 10,000 shots they're not anywhere close to being good, and it's true like some music it's 10,000 pieces of music.
Let me just tell you, my first semester was not pretty.
Yes. Nalilia chooni mzee. But anyway, so I'm still learning because so when I was getting into photography, like I took a whole lot of I was shooting everything, literally, like everything. A flower, I actually, one of my favorite shots from when I was starting, it was a shot of a spider. I did ilikuwa kwa web. I took it at home in Taita. I was just walking and I found this spider. Like I love that. I still have it somewhere. That one. So I shot everything at that point, and then I would take photos of people. Ni watu from the background, niweke place nyingine. Just a plain, sometimes a purple background for whatever reason. It was all weird, but it was still. Me learning, me learning. Up to a point where I got a mentor, and then my whole like perspective of photography changed. And from that point, literally. Because before meeting him, I won't lie, I didn't know what a speed light is, a softbox. I didn't know kuna any other type of lighting I could use to, enhance. I didn't.
By the way, I used to be the type of guy who says you don't really need a mentor. You have YouTube.
My friend.
But that hands-on experience by this,
it helps. It helps.
I won't lie. When I went to music school, for me, like the first sem, I realized there's a lot of things I thought I knew.
But you don't.
Yeah, but then you realize that
Exactly. Yes.
And then there are also some things that you take for granted that you actually find that they are more important than the things you need. Because everyone thinks of getting big equipment. I was thinking like, I'll just buy equipment in the studio nianze kutengeneza muziki. And then it's not YouTube. Yeah, sana nikamwambia tukitaka kufungua studio nahitaji nini? Akaniambia unahitaji backline. Mimi hata sijui backline ni. Mimi nadhani backline ni choirs. Ona choir members. Backline ni speakers. Sijui hiyo kitu. I am just doing it speaker sijui gani. Unahitaji sijui drums. I didn't know this. So basically I feel like it's the same thing for you. That human touch.
Yes.
Ni muhimu.
It's important. So after like I got him like my whole career, like I think that is the point where it now started being kind of a proper career from that bit. Yeah, so like most of even what I'm doing now, but it's mostly because of him. Like yeah.
Nimpatie shout out pale kidogo.
Isaiah Maganga, man.
Instagram handle yake tutamtafutia.
Instagram. What's his Instagram? At Easy Boy. Nini. It's at Easy MB. That's his. That's his Instagram.
Ndio tunaanza hiki kitu na tuje Instagram handle yako. Hapo tunamalizanga hiki kitu.
Tuanze ama tumalize? Okay, yako ni @_hybrides.
Yangu si muhimu sana. Leo ni siku yako.
Sawa. Ndio celeb hapa.
Leo ni siku yako. Anyway, hiyo tutafanya. Stay tuned. Msikize hadi mwisho muone Instagram handle yao mjamaa. But speaking of mentors and everything, how was the experience when you got your first paycheck? How did you land your first photography job, and how did you know that this is it? Because most of the problems you have as creatives is unaifanyanga tu kujaribu. In Africa, that's how we live. Yes. Kujaribu kwanza and then you realize 2 years down the line parents wako like, hii ni job gani? Unapata kazi lini? So basically, unaweza tuambia, how was it like getting your first job? How did you land your first job, and what prompted you to say that this is it? This is what I'm going to do as a career.
How did I land my first job? I think one of my first jobs, the ones I can clearly remember, this guy, he was actually I was referred to him by a friend. So he calls me up and he's like, I need you to help me shoot team building. And then one of the things I remember, he told me he wanted all photos in RAW. I had no idea what photos in RAW. Like, why should I had no. Yeah, I was like, but because he was hiring me, I was like, sure. So I set the camera to the RAW format.
Let me not lie. The first time I had drone, nilidhani pictures of film.
Wow.
I didn't even know digital cameras. How do Mr. Dangaya before Black Diversity 254 for me photography. I didn't know shit. I was nisikia roho mimi najua in film. So go.
Exactly. So he's like, I need you to specifically shoot these images in RAW. So I was like, okay. So I go do the images and then look like, because he copied them. And then I went home, I looked at them and I was like, good God, what have I done? Because most of them were very overexposed. Because it was a very sunny day and I had not really learned my camera, but then again, I still got paid. I felt bad because I've done a shoddy job.
Yes.
Exactly. But then, like, after that, you learn that it's a learning process. Like every other day, your best picture is the next one, so to say. At least for me, there are times like I shoot and then I go back. I'm like, I should have done this a bit differently. But then you are like, yo, it's a step. I've grown. Today I've grown. It's a good day. We look forward to the next one and improving on the next one. But that paycheck was
It was good.
That was a good one.
You look encouraged.
Yes. So after that, I was like, I can get paid doing this. Sure, let's do this.
So I've also, if someone goes through your Instagram page, your old work was very conceptual. It wasn't, because I see people like themes. Some photographers like humans, some like nature and animals, some like tech. But for you, it was more of conceptual, like there's a Halloween theme, there's this.
Wow.
So basically, how did you settle on this medium of photography? Ama, what's your main focus when you decide to take a project on? Like your personal project, si za kuandikwa.
Oh, my personal projects, I like them weird.
Weird?
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, the more out of the norm they are, the better for me. In the sense that it does not have to, how can I put it, as it's kind of not meant for everyone. That is, it's the wrong perspective, but it's more of how a style, so to say, in the sense that there are things I do that I know will not appeal to everyone. Like that. Speaking of that Halloween thing, immediately I posted it on my Facebook. I had some of the funniest comments. Guys were like, "So now you're becoming a devil worshipper." That I kid you not, that was among the comments. I was like, I mean, yeah. So because this is just me trying to
experiment on something.
Yeah, just art being art, and what I was thinking at that point, So most of it, it's, I don't know, part of what I feel, what comes into my head, what I see someone else do. I'm like, that looks pretty cool. So how can I personalize that? And yeah.
So where do you find the inspiration? Because sometimes, for us musicians, it's easier for us to listen to a song and then we get inspiration from that. Sometimes it can be anything. Sound is what inspires us. For you, what inspires you to create?
A lot of things. People, music, other people, images from other photographers. Yeah. Sometimes there's this project. It's still work in progress, but there's one post that I made, I think on my Instagram, where I actually listened to an Octopizzo song.
Nani huyu? Hii ni wimbo gani? Octopizzo the man.
I think ni Zikishika. So there's a line, yeah. What?
Hey, you never cease to amaze me.
I know I'm that awesome. I mean,
it's awesome.
Nini.
Mara moja, najua wimbo zenye unasikizanga.
Yeah. Why are we talking about my taste in music?
Hapana, nasema tu ilikuja kama wewe jibu swali.
Anyway, so there's a place where he says chini ya maji mini titan. So of course he meant titan as in being a titan, but I'm a taita, so I changed it to titan ya kuwa mtaita. So yeah, that was
majini hapo.
Yeah. So it was actually No, Indian Ocean over here. But it was actually, there was some water involved because it was a double exposure of my face and a wave. So I was like, chini ya maji mini titan. So that is part of where the inspiration comes from. It can come from like everywhere.
So basically for you it's, because for me inspiration usually comes from listening to specific music. Before if I'm really nervous, najua ile ngoma yangu.
But then now is that that's inspiration when you want to create?
Oh, for now creation now it depends. Sometimes it's mostly soundtracks. When I'm listening to a movie or watching something, the soundtrack or something happening, because I watch a lot of anime. So for me hapo ndo inaingia.
No wonder this animated.
Kuna saa unapatanga imekuchangamsha hapo umeona. But anyway, enough about me and my inspiration. Now let's get to the meat of the bone. Today we are going to talk about lady sensations, and I think tumekula time kidogo hapa. By the way, apologies for being late. We had a few technical difficulties.
We're very sorry.
Tunajua hizi maneno mara bundles.
It's the first time we are doing this.
Lazima tukope. We have bills to pay. To copy. You're not broke. You're not broke people. But anyway, as I was saying.
Wow.
So we apologize for being late. But that being said, so blended sensations. I remember you sent me your first. Basically, this is Jimmy. Don't explain. I'm going to explain.
Oh, explain because this would have come up at some point anyway.
So basically, blended sensations ni project ya double exposure. Double exposure ni pale Mundo wa Mavisa anachukua picha mbili anacombine.
Ati mtu wa
Mundo wa Mavisa, hii ni Kikamba. Mundo wa Mavisa. Sijui pronunciation sijui can correct. So ni picha mbili unacombine. Basically that's the whole point. But seriously though, it was supposed to be an exhibition specifically celebrating nature and human minds, because that's what I see. Combining nature and human, but in a very unique way, whereby he manipulates images to fit a specific narrative. So I remember ulinitumia kwanza na hiyo yenyewe stadanganya before hizo blended sensations. Ya kwanza ulinitumianga double exposure. Tuambie kulienda aje
juu.
How did you decide naingia hapa? Juu by the way ukianza ilikuwa jokes bana.
True, very true.
And the thing is, by this is a lesson I learned. Usikataze mtu hadi quit. Never shut someone down until they quit.
Yes.
So even if something is crap, let them continue doing the crap back to that point when it's like you see now they're taking it seriously. That's when you tell them do this and that. But before that, don't shut them down. So your first experience, what prompted you to go on? What made you think, okay, this is something I can do?
I did that first one, Kakutumia. Okay, for this guy always you've always seen every first of my art piece.
I'm the curator.
Yeah.
Phone number is 07. I offer my services. I'm very cheap.
For what? Exactly what are you saying?
Tutakula pesa pamoja. Sasa mbona unaharibu?
Nikutaka kujua hizi terms.
Hapana, wewe tutaongea maneno baadaye.
Sawa. So I did that first one, which I remember was the lady in a forest. I think that was the first one in a yellow background.
Yeah, I remember it.
And it's that one. So after I sent you that, your comment was, this is pretty good. It's really nice. And actually, you're the one who gave me the idea of curating the whole thing and see if it can become an exhibition. And my first instinct was no. I'm not ready to do that yet.
Yes. Sasa angalia uko na live stream hapa. I'm pretty sure labda kuna watu wawili wametune in. Maybe wako zuri watujui but
yes.
Mimi niko na view moja najua inakuja. Si inatoka kwa mtu. Inaweza guarantee. Uko na mbili pia kuna mbili pia uko na view moja.
Yeah.
Uko na view mbili. Hey. I know the people who are watching.
Okay, the people who are watching from Jerry's side, thank you. And everyone watching from my side, thank you too. Anyway, where are we?
So how did you get to the point of the exhibition? Well, you're telling me about how you began.
Yes.
But before what made you want to try out double exposure? Because this is one of those mediums. I've done it. It's hectic.
It is.
It's hectic because photography, most people don't understand the elements of photography. When you take a photo, when you decide to do double exposure, there are a lot of elements you have to take in.
Yes.
So what made you decide to take on this challenge?
One, because it was aesthetically interesting, in the sense that, I first saw, the first double exposure. Wow, exposure.
Repose.
Kamati ya roho chafu. Ndo nyinyi hapa. My first double exposure that I saw was on, I think on Pinterest. Yeah. So I saw it on Pinterest, wow, I really like the combination between these two images. Some even had three. So I was like, I need to try this. So I go on YouTube and find a double exposure tutorial, and I follow it, and then that's how the first one began. That's where the first one that I did. Interestingly, the tutorial that I followed, it all had this very colorful background. It was either a gradient of green and yellow, it was all shouting colors. So so I did that. But then after a couple of them, I was like, why don't I try something different? So I tried mixing up the background colors. It was pretty interesting. I think you've seen a couple of them, of the builds.
I think so.
I have.
Shida squeeze memory mbovu. Tunazeeka bana. So the blended sensations exhibition, it was supposed to happen this month.
Yeah, last Saturday.
COVID happened. Yeah, next Saturday. Pia mimi yangu
last Saturday. Yeah, it was supposed to be on 25th.
Yangu ilikuanga ikuwe September.
Your concert.
Yeah, September 19th.
Oh.
Kimeumana. Kimeumana.
Sema kimeumana.
Kimeumana. But anyways, this is blended sensations. What was it about? Because there are different elements. There are different. If you can see the slides going through your screen right now, there are different elements. There are different images. What was the whole point of the whole exhibition? What were people going to experience when they went there?
First of all, if it was just me being me, I would never have done it.
Okay.
I would never have done it. This is the thing. I think every creative gets to this point where they feel their work is not good enough for anyone to see it. Like, no. This is not. It's not worth being out there. But then you are like, yo, you need to put this out there. And then after he told me that, I asked some of my family members, my sisters, and they're just family. I asked them if I framed this and put it up for sale, would you buy it? They're like, yeah, I would buy it. I was like, oh, okay. So like just getting feedback from different people, like, yeah, you really should do this. So after that, that's when I started now creating pieces specifically for the exhibition. It was just like it literally was just double exposures, and me and whatever creative thing I'd done, crazy or not, the double exposure, that was what guys were going to experience.
So basically it was just people are going to see your creative expression.
Yeah. Yes. And then we interact, network. Niulize maswali chenye mnataka kujua, you just get to know who am I.
Okay, and speaking of which, there was also supposed to be merchandise and stuff.
Yes, yes.
What's the plan now, since we don't have COVID? Is this still in the pipeline? Because I remember you were talking of stickers. Stickers and buttons.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, stickers, buttons.
Stickers, buttons, mugs.
Mugs,
yeah. The mugs, they were supposed to be water bottles printed with the art. The art itself up for print.
So is that still, it's still in the pipeline?
Yeah, especially the prints, because we can, plan is now to put the art up for prints. You'll see the art on all of my sites after this.
So speaking of sites, can you just tell us which sites people can find your stuff? Because mimi yesi kazi yangu.
Si wewe ndio uko hapa host.
Mimi ni _hybrid on Instagram. FNNR254 on YouTube.
This is my major fan. So.
At Playbisben on Twitter.
Playbi what?
Hii kuna vitu vingi. It was a different time of my life when I used
which has clearly never changed.
No, but on Twitter, if you search for hybrid and then you put the clover sign, you'll find me. On Facebook, Facebook ni private kidogo. Uko na stock watu sifanye kazi. But yeah, sasa wewe fanya. That's nimepotea template.
Wow.
Hey, you should do a better job. Mimi mwalimu tu.
I was never going through a hard time in my life when I was creating my social media handles.
No, I was young and foolish. No.
Okay, I'm going to take the young out of it and then put the foolish that you still are.
Ukipata mrembo ameandika hapo Dibrats Miholic Brenda na science mingi hapo. Utaka Facebook anakuandikia mwenyewe. Hata yeye mwenyewe pronounce jina.
Which sadly, so are you still in that point of your life? Speaking of your Facebook name.
Playbisben, let me be honest. Playbi was my stage name at some point. I changed stage names. So,
where is Ben coming from?
Playbisben, yeah, it was Ben, the word Ben, B-A-N-E, it means...
Yes.
Jaribu kutafuta my linguistic capabilities. Faculties zimepotea kidogo. Serious. Playbisben.
Away the wind.
Playbi was I used to be called Playbiston. That was my stage name.
This is new. Wow. Okay.
Yes. Ini tidbits for my fan base. Pale mnajua pale mnanipata. Plebistone was my stage name. That was in Form 2, Form 3. Yes, I was a rapper then. I was pretty good by the way. Okay, my lyricism was good, but my rapping was a bit shitty. Kinda still is. No, not still is. My rapping is good now. But so it was Plebis. So by the time I was forming my Twitter handle, I went Plebis Ben. Plebis, that Ben basically means something that is a weakness to something. Basically, it's like your weakness, like your kryptonite. That's the word Ben. So Plebis Ben was Plebis kryptonite. I just wanted to sound cool and stuff, but hey. So it has stuck. I don't want to change it. I don't know why. I don't want to change it for some strange reason.
Yeah, because he's still his own kryptonite.
Yeah, I found it. So that's the whole story. Yeah, it's nothing major. You too.
Well, so Goja, you the high school is Plebistone.
Yeah, Plebistone. Nilikuwa kwanza nilianza na gani? Kwanza I was in a rock band. Mimi and another guy called Victor Chomo. I'll never forget. It was called Spartans and Mars. Spartans because of the movie 300.
Yeah,
Mars
of course.
because I like 30 Seconds to Mars the Kill. That song is fire.
Yes,
still is a legendary song.
It is.
Alafu ikakufa. Tukatengeneza Black Avalanche. Black Avalanche tulikuwa na another guy called Ngwala, Anthony Ngwala.
Black Avalanche somewhere.
Yeah, now that's the thing. What happened with Black Avalanche is when we went to holiday, we shared the name, and then we got out of holiday, we found another band as the name. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened during that period. Because my friends came to school and they're like, hey, tumona Black Avalanche kila pahali and everything. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, now hujajiona pahali.
So maybe we were two people who shared the name, maybe ideas were being shared, but hey, we decided to get rid of that name. So we became Beat City. That's the one.
We need to document your musical journey from high school. Like,
yeah,
this
so
is a documentary, yes.
Yeah. Tukakuwa Beat City ikakufa. Acha tuatie hapo. But stage names zilikuwa kuna Jokerat, kuna Plebistone, kuna Lil Jarvis.
Oh.
Majina ni mingi.
Lil Jarvis, like Jarvis or Iron Man.
Jervis. Jarvis because it's on the name book.
Jerry.
Jarvis comes right after Jerry. So my name is a short form of Jarvis. So there's that. So Hybrid Days is another story. Hiyo itakuwa sasa siku yangu ya live stream yangu. Mkitaka hiyo story, wenye mko na namba yangu mwende WhatsApp mniambie, nitafanya live stream Instagram siku moja.
Kuna mtu anakuangalia, like wenye wanakuona sasa hizi wako na namba yako.
Wako na namba yangu, wako na namba yangu. Mimi najua watu, I know people, you should know people. Wako na bundles, wifi, you know.
I know you
well
sadly.
connected. Yeah, you know
like
me.
it's a sad thing.
Hii interview si yangu. Why are you taking over the interview? Unaona watu kufanya interview ya journalist ni mbaya. The journalist takes over the interview and starts interviewing the host. So, stop doing my job. So, as I was saying.
What were you saying?
Tell us about this thing.
My handles at Mwalumah, it's just Mwalumah on my Facebook.
Spell that your Mwandaviro. Najua ina sound ka V.
It's a W instead of a V.
Andika. So you ambie MWAND AWIRO. Yes, Mwalumah. That's Facebook. Mwalumah Photography is my page. At Mwalumah on Instagram, at Mwalumah on Twitter. That's me. At Mwalumah,
I did not have midlife crisis.
No, see midlife. I was 16, man. 16. Ulikuwa wapi kwa 16? Ulikuwa wapi?
16.
Ulikuwa wapi? I don't know.
16 probably.
No, at least me I have documentation. I know. I have footprints.
I was never rapping in high school though, so.
Wewe si mwanamuziki.
Yeah.
Si mwanamuziki. But that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. But also we want to know where will people get this artwork, because I'm pretty sure there are some people who might be interested in getting that one. That's something.
Yes.
Because we tried Redbubble, it didn't really work out.
No, Redbubble didn't.
But I think it's just the way we posted them to redo.
We'll see how that turns out.
But how can people get this artwork? How can people?
I'll post the links to where the people can get the artwork and where they can choose the particular artwork they want to print. Also, if you want like your own personal customized thing, you can also do that. Like take a photo of you, and then if you tell me you want, say for you want half horse and half you, double exposure of you, ukiwa kwa hey.
So basically, if someone wants their own personal creative expression,
exactly,
it can also be done.
It can still be done.
Okay, aside from the creative exposure thing, you are actually a professional photographer. That's the main thing, because this is like a side thing. So, where can people find you? Do your contacts?
My contacts are Yeah, my contact's actually on Instagram and my Facebook page. So if you follow any of those, you can still get through to me.
Get through to which nini are you focusing on? Juu unajua kuna jobs zingine ufanyangi. Which one are you which jobs are you not taking?
Which jobs am I not taking?
Because I've known there are cases you have told me of stories.
Yeah.
So you have to clarify, and you never know who's watching.
Which jobs am I not
unajua
taking?
unafanyanga wanawake huko nje.
Wow. Okay.
Nakujengea jina. Nakujengea jina hapa.
Ngoja ninafanyaje wanawake huko
Una
nje?
confuse ukipita wanavunja mashingo, wanachanganyikiwa, wanashangaa huyu mtu.
In what way? Unasema nikana kwamba nilichanganya msichana wako.
Sasa nakupatia psych. Nakupatia props. You are a lady killer.
I'm sorry, ladies. This is not always how. Okay, wait. This is always how he is like.
No.
This is not this.
Oh my. Speaking of which.
Why are we digressing? Okay, speaking of what?
Yeah. Okay. Basically, this interview is a precursor to something amazing that you are going to work on today. It's called Banter with the Boys. Oh. This is a podcast. Specifically, we'll be talking about man issues, and we'll be talking about things that are affecting the male fraternity in our generation. Which is necessary to know. It will not be like this. It will be a bit different. Because this one I have to be a bit more calm and collected. So
you're not calm and collected right now?
Sasa nimetulia. So in that it will be raw and unfiltered. And I'll share the links on all my social media handles when that comes up. So probably by next week but one, they'll be going up. So watch out for that.
Banter with the boys.
Yeah,
These
banter
two
with the boys.
boys.
Yeah. Now back to you. Now you can tell us which jobs are you accepting, which jobs are you not accepting? Because I feel like most people don't really clarify, so you find sometimes you get into a situation that you did not want to get into.
But then, if I get into that situation, I always have the choice to like politely decline. It's not cast in stone. Like if someone approaches me some kind of job that I have to take it, no, I'll be like, I do not do that. Can I recommend someone?
Okay.
You know, like
so anyone can hit you up and then you can decide there.
Yes.
Sasa umesikia ukitaka kazi yote pale budua shoot nini piga simu.
No, I do not do budua shoots.
Sasa nimekwambia sio jitetea hapo, unaona sasa? Unaona
mambo. I actually also do not do nudes.
Asikia sasa lazima ajitetea sasa. Nimemwambia aseme hizi vitu anakataa kusema. Anasema mtu yote anaweza mwambia alafu akatenda. Kataa mbele ya kamera sasa
unangoja. It's because wewe unaweza mkia hapo niambia Mwalumah nataka shoot and I do not know what to expect with you. I don't.
Tumefanya kazi ni wewe. Unajua kazi zangu vile zinakuanga. Mimi kazi zangu safi. Mali iende safi chenche.
Wapi?
Sasa tuanze kufungua archives. Black Diversity 254.
So unajua niko na picha zako?
Go to
you know I have
Black_Diversity 254 on Instagram.
Hizo hata si zako, hizo ni za watu wengine. I'm talking about your photos. Like your
zangu personal private. Sijachukua picha bado. Cheza chini. Fan base najua utachachisha watu hapa alafu
do not try me.
Iko nini?
I have your archives.
Mimi ndo live streamer, I'm the host. I can control this. I can change the tone.
It's fine. I can still post your.
So umesema kazi unachukua kazi you don't do nude shoots, you don't do budua. So anything NSFW, not safe for work, he does not engage in.
Yes.
But corporate gigs, I feel like
you feel?
I feel like he's amazing photographer. Your professionalism. We have worked with him in Black Diversity 254.
Yes.
BD 254. Hapo nimeongea haraka nikana rap. So we've worked with him in Black Diversity 254. It was a bit different because at that time before you came into the picture, I didn't really understand the whole idea of having a professional photographer. And I have to admit it was really good work because I remember the first time we did a shoot with Sam. Ndio ilikuwa kwa hodi yetu. Ilikuwa Arboretum. Arboretum.
That was the first shoot.
Yeah, that was the first shoot. The one that we even had Mukera.
Yeah. Oh, it's the one that we took. She did the makeup and we had a shot of Saldin green stuff. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. So I remember the first thing I saw the photos and I was like, hey, okay. So basically, enyewe tumekuwa tukilala because I just thought we can just use a phone, take photos and tuendelee. Then you are the one who actually opened me up to international photography.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in.
Utaki kusema director amesema tumalize?
Director amesema tukat. Amesema masaa imekuwa baya. Mimi niko na curfew. Nilikuwa nataka kufika nyumbani saa 9. Mama ashaanza kupiga simu hapo, uko wapi mzee wangu? Tafanya aje?
Okay, sawa, we shall not.
Ni mamangu mzazi. Mamangu mzazi.
Si ni sawa.
Iko nini?
Kwa nini nimekataa?
Kwani mamangu hawezi ita mzee wangu? Wewe mamako ukitange mzee wako.
Nimekataa. Have I refused?
Sasa hebu kati hiyo kitu bana. Huyu mtu ananisumbua hapo. Tumemaliza. Sisi tumemaliza sasa. Na we can go. Ama bado ina bafa. Alafu unajua sasa ndio net inarudi. Utasikia leo sema sasa ina bafa ndio net inarudi. I am tired. Sikia kulala.
Why? Anyway, so yeah, Black Baby, which it hit me that even like some of hizo